Hey guys, how you going? Campbell here from Spiral Up channel, where we talk about practical things you can use to improve your life and get more of what you want. And today I wanted to talk about the phrase, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So let's get into it. Alright, so if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. I'm sure that we've all heard this phrase. And I was just thinking about it recently because I think that in this crazy world we find ourselves in, and we are of course crossing ages, so everything is in turmoil at the moment. All the energies have gone a bit crazy. And of course, with all this happening, we have those that wish to control others putting out all this rhetoric and putting out all these stories and all this stuff on the MSN and advertising, social media, and they are pushing a narrative. And they are pushing a narrative that is not good. Now, if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything. So, if we don't know what our ethics are, and I don't want to use the word believe, but if we don't, because believe is be the lie, right? It keeps you in a box. But if we don't know what we stand for, if we don't know what our ethical base is, if we don't know what we will and will not put up with as far as our experience and also the experience of others. So if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Which means if you don't have, an ethical base, if you don't know what your ethics are, what your standards are, what you will put up with, what you won't put up with, what you'll fight for, all these things, if you don't know what they are, if you just don't have them, then it's very, very easy for people to persuade you. Now, if you do have very strong opinions and, you've come to some very sort of strong conclusions, then it's very hard for people to change your mind and to sway you into their way of believing, because this is a whole thing, being, swayed and all this stuff and listening to other people and sort of taking on rhetoric is exactly what you're doing. You're taking on someone else's belief system. And why is that? Why would they want you to do that? Why would anyone want you to take on their belief system? I mean, that's a good question. Because when you think about it, if you know humans, you will understand that the good humans, the real humans, that they're not interested in that. They're interested in sharing, not controlling. And so people who want to control and take over your narrative and make you believe certain things, it's because they want something from you. It's because they have nefarious goals. They have things that they want to do that will end up controlling you. And it's that simple. And this is also how we, it's a good identifier of how to find these people, the people to avoid, and the people that you really, shouldn't be around and shouldn't be in their energy and shouldn't be letting influence you. These are the people who are always talking, about themselves and their own opinions and trying to get you to believe and trying to convince you that they're right. These are the people to avoid, because they're trying to get you to fall for something. So like I said, what do you stand for? Do you know what you stand for? Because, I didn't even know what ethics were. I had to go and, I remember when I was 9 or 10 or something, because I went to Christian schools and I heard about ethics, and I literally didn't, I was like, what's that? And I had to go and look it up. And then, because I'd never, been taught, I've never had to sit down talk or anything, and I suppose that's how we imagine it, about ethics, but obviously it was something in religion that was promoted. But the thing about ethics really, you don't need to have that sit down talk. It's all about, we learn by, as children, we learn by copying, by imitating. And so it's really, you're teaching your children, it's just teach them who you are through your actions. And I guess the disjunct comes with, in the last century, that they were trying to get all the parents out to work away from the children, right? Get the children in front of a TV screen. So the TV can teach your children some ethics. And then in school, right? And this is how we end up with children who don't have the same ethical base as their parents. I mean, that's never happened before, ever. Ever in all of history. It hasn't happened. I mean, maybe, a full age ago, 26,000 years. This is the problem. So we're getting children that are growing up and they don't have an ethical base. And not just children. This has been going on a while. We have a lot of people and you see this, and it's so easy. If you don't believe in something, if you don't have standards, look at what they are pumping out with all this, music and rap music and get drunk and have drugs, and it's all about what you look like, how much you earn, where you live, what you own. The whole Instagram thing, it's just, you've got to be good looking, you've got to look a certain way. And this is all changing people's ethics. Because these people don't have standards that say, I am valuable, I am the power, and so is everyone else, so I'll respect them. Or they can be swayed into not respecting, the other sex, let's say, and getting into those kind of behaviours, which of course is a downward spiral, which is the exact opposite of what we're doing here. Obviously, we are spiralling up. So, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything, because the powers that want to rule you, that's all they want to do. They want you to fall for their rhetoric, for their story, because then they own you, they control you. Because we are the power guys. We are creators. What we think, and it's not what we think, randomly. It's what our self-image is. What we, our deep beliefs of what we are. And there's that word again. But, what we, how we see ourselves is our self-image. And that's our energy. So that's what attracts things to us. So if we see ourselves as, someone who's happy and outgoing and always meets really awesome people, then that will be your experience. The same as if you think, oh, I'm shy and people don't like me or whatever, then you'll stay home. And so that you won't go and meet people. That will be your experience. But with all things, we create everything. Everything on the earth was created twice. By humans, by us, not by the rulers, by us. Everything's created first in your mind as a thought, and then it's created in the physical world. So we know this. This is the power we have. Literally, we create things through our thought, and then we bring them into reality. This is why they want to control us. Because then, if they can control us as the energy source, then they can make us think what they want us to think. Then they can make us create what they want created. So this is the game. This really is the game. It's by my sword. It's the person with the loudest voice who can get the most people to follow them and believe that their story is right wins. That's the game that they want us to play in this, cult of right? The culture. Being the first city, back with the Phoenicians and Babylon and all this kind of stuff. But I'm getting off track. So, guys, I think, look around. I've seen some articles recently that are just disturbing. There's one out that there's a new movie out, and it's about, Satan. And basically, it's from the other viewpoint, right? It's trying to say that they're good now. And there's an article out, and it actually says, those that, worship, because I've got to be careful with what I say, who worship, the red dude with the pointy tail. There's an article saying, are they actually better than Orange Man supporters or that side supporters? And are they the solution to them? Serious. People who worship the pointy tail dude. This is an article in a mainstream magazine. I'll link it below so you can have a look. this is what's happening. Now, of course, we know what's going on with the attack on skin color and, the whole gaslighting thing. They are trying to tell us that we have all their bad traits. They're literally projecting. This is what it is. They're projecting. Because these people are the ones who go out there and who do define people by, the colour that they are. Most humans don't do that, but these people do. And then they run around yelling and pointing at us saying, no, it's you who does that and you need to stop it. And so here are all the laws because you're so bad. Here's all the laws that we're going to enforce to make you better. Of course, if you haven't heard the whole Coke thing, just Google Coke, be more white, and you'll find something. I'll leave that link below as well. But this is the thing. It's getting scary, guys. And this has been going on for a year, and everyone's kind of been, obviously most people have been complying, but people, who sort of see through it and who are researching, we've been kind of like, well, what do we do? We can't really yell at these poor sheeple, they're kind of lost. And then we have the discussion of, what's going on? Are they NPCs? What's going on with the leaders? They're looking very strange. They're not, we don't even see them anymore. Like really what is going on? What's going on out there? But so we've kind of been sitting back watching. And of course there's this whole thing. It seems to have faded away pretty quickly. Number 17 last year was a huge thing, and it was, trust the plan, which really is sit down and do nothing. And also, there's all the, is someone coming from the sky to save us? People or beings coming from the sky in spaceships to save us? Is this happening? And so there's this big, sort of feeling of people are sitting back like waiting for someone to save them. And that's a problem. Because what if no one comes? You see, if you can affect what you're putting power into, then great, then go for it. But if you can't affect it, then it's like I've said this before, it's something that you can put your energy into. You can say, yes, that'd be awesome. I'll put my energy into it. I want that to happen. But if you rely on it, it doesn't happen, then where are you? So it's better to do that and also do actions of your own. Start getting out there. Start going out without the muzzle. Start, questioning people who are questioning you as far as all these, these employees who are running around like Gestapo thinking they have the power, to accost people just because they haven't put a muzzle on their face. I mean, this is madness. So we need to start calling these people out. We need to start saying things like, no one's died from this, but what about mental health? Why do you support that? And all the suicides? Put it back on them. Because seriously, this is, they're trying to destroy our society. They're trying to undermine our ethics. They're attacking our children and our ethical base so that they can change us from what we are, heart-centered, loving beings, into what they are. And if you want to know what they are, go, check out Hollywood, check out, what they're tweeting. I mean, we all know what's going on, Burger Bill, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, these articles that are coming out, everyone, it's all about hate, right? It's all about hate. You're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. And of course, this kind of rhetoric, if you're someone who stands for nothing, if you don't have any kind of base or any idea of who you are, then these things can look pretty good. You get to join a group, you get to be part of a group, right? And it's always more fun, easier when you're part of a group. Obviously humans are community-based people. And so that's good. And then, everyone else will just tell you what to believe, and all you have to do is go along with it. You don't even have to think. So that's how these people have got so much. And of course, then they start the whole sort of poor little me. Poor little me. Everything would be better if that person didn't do this. And if that person didn't do this, then we could do this. So it's all about pointing out the problems. And Some people seem to be more comfortable in that position. I don't know why. I guess it means, in their mind, I guess that they don't have to do anything. But the thing about not doing anything is you don't get anything. If you're not doing anything, then what you get is, whatever people or the universe want to give you. You've got no control. But people seem to like that. So, they give away their power and they just go out when there's other people like them, so they can be in their mob mentality, and they start, telling everyone that they're wrong. And this is what we're seeing. Now, this is, of course, the vocal minority. These people are not the majority. They just happen to have the MSN on their side, pretty much all of social media, everything. So this is a full-on attack. They're trying to get us to change our mind, but, it doesn't seem to be working. But at times like this, we need to really spend time, deciding and defining who we are, what we believe, what we will put up with and what we won't. Because if we don't start saying, here's the line, it stops here, and then also start pushing back and saying, actually, we need to go back to there, you've pushed too far. If we don't start doing that, we're going to be pushed off a cliff. And so, this new age that we're going into is a lot more intentional. So we're going to have a lot more, power as far as being able to create what we want. So more than ever now, it really is time to define, who we are, to define that self-image and to get that vibration where it should be, so that you're attracting the kind of things that you want to attract, and so that you're the kind of person that can't be swayed by other people's opinions, because you know who you are. And when you're someone like that, you'll be someone that other people look at and they look up to, and they're like, I want to be like that. Because we don't teach by telling people what to do, we teach by example. We teach people by showing them what can be, who they can be. Because if you do it, then it's possible, right? It's possible for them. Everyone's just a human. One human can do it, anyone can do it well. Maybe not being the fastest person on earth or something like that, but yeah, pretty much, we've all got the same potential. We just need to believe it, and that's why we get to different places, because we all have different, beliefs, and that is a belief because it holds you in a box. We have different beliefs of what our potential is, and the truth is it's unlimited. It's just unlimited. You should never think about that. It's whatever you want it to be. So I just wanted to get this message out. I did mention it a bit on my live the other day, the live that failed. Yeah, right now, guys, it's time that we really, really, really define who we are, what we'll stand for. Start, creating groups and communities that are like-minded. Make sure that you act this way, around children and your children and nephews and grandchildren and whatever. Teach them what, the right way to be. And even, and it is good to talk to kids too, definitely, and not telling them, but just, talk to them about their experience, what they're seeing, what their friends are doing. Ask them what they think about that. Because when they do that, and also when kids know they have the support, and I don't like the word kids, when children know they have support of adults, people they can talk to and bounce ideas off, they tend to make better decisions. Just knowing that, they tend to make better decisions. I guess, it's to do with, if children feel unloved, they destroy themselves, right? And this is something, that's coming out a lot, and again, this is why we really need to define what we want in the world that we want to go into and the world that we want to create, going forward into the new age, because it's a new age, guys, and it's ours. Let's make it whatever we want it to be. Let's make it the best expression of humanity that it can be. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you for spending some time with me. Look inside yourself, because there is greatness in there. And I'll talk to you all on the next upload. Bye for now.